Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kristina Angelina, and I want to share with you this really cute table that I made with my bare hands. So I've been looking for a side table to go on the side of my bed, obviously, and it's such a narrow space. It just looks a hot mess. I just needed something to fit in perfectly, and I just haven't been able to find anything that was the perfect size. So I decided I'd make something my damn self. So I came up with the table. So what I did starting off was head to Home Depot. They had this whole section where there were panels. They all had like different grains, so you just have to go through them, and they have different thickness. I'll leave the measurements either on the screen or down below of the one that I purchased. So this board right here, I got it cut at Home Depot. Initially I had wanted to go with this style, which I'll post a picture of it, but they actually wouldn't cut below a specific size, so I had to think of something else. I did get these little what are they called, dowels, and we cut them down all at the same size. And then I got some screws. I needed the screws for the hairpin legs, so I brought these on Amazon. They came in black, different sizes. Again, I'll post the size. And then I got this Rust-Oleum paint and primer in satin white. I didn't want matte, but then I didn't want too glossy. So I went out on the terrace of my parents' house and I just gave them a coat. I think it took me about 3 coats to really get them evenly coated. The problem I had was I would keep spraying continuously and then it would start to drip. You see that drip? That's a no-no. And then I went in with a damn paintbrush and then I made it worse. So keep doing short bursts and not too close so you don't get those drips. So this was my second idea with the dowels. Now, the problem I faced with this was I had to keep sanding them down to make sure they were all the same size, and I just could not get them all to be perfect. So either one side was like too short, or then I did it too much, and it was becoming a hot mess. Don't forget to sand down your wood on all the sides because you want to make sure like you're not going to get a splinter from them. So after I sanded down the wood pieces, the panels, then I went ahead with the hairpin legs and I screwed those in with these wood screws. And then you just really want to measure this out and make sure that you're placing them all in the same area. You don't want your table to look weird and it be really uneven. So make sure that you take your measuring tape, you take your time, and you just measure that out. So those are the screws that I used, and you want to make sure that the screws aren't going to be too long so it doesn't puncture right through the wooden panels. You want to make sure it is just right. So I screwed all of them in, and this is how it looks. Even if you just wanted a regular table, you could have stopped right here, but this is not the look we are going for right now. So I came up with this idea. I've had this acrylic drawer. I really didn't have any place to put it or any use for it or just space in general. So I thought, why not put this in between both panels and make it look like they're floating, and at the same time it's a drawer, so I can make sure whatever I put on that shelf isn't going to fall out or just make a mess. So I went in with clear Gorilla Glue. This stuff is really, really good. My recommendation when applying the Gorilla Glue to the acrylic drawer is to actually just go ahead and saturate that bad boy. What I did was I did like dabs or drops or spots of it, but what I really should have done was just literally coat the whole thing, because what happens is when I pressed it down, the glue didn't like disappear or it didn't just all connect together, so you actually see it when you press it down, which I'll show you in a second. So you really want to make sure also, depending on the size of your acrylic drawer and depending on the size of the wooden panel, that it is nice and centered and that it's going to look nice and even and seamless. So once you put it down, you do have a couple of like minute or so to really make sure that it is all together. I did the bottom first, and then I placed this really heavy box on top to make sure that we secured it. And as you saw there, you kind of see, well, not kind of, you definitely see the glue. So I definitely recommend coating it all the way. I didn't learn my lesson the first time, and then I repeated the steps all over again on the other side. What was really easy for me is when I placed the acrylic on top of the wooden panel, was putting like these little squares, so I know that I'm keeping it in place. So you see those droplets. A fixer-upper for that, I don't mind the top of it because you're not going to see it, but a good fixer-upper is to get like contact paper on the bottom of your drawer once it slides in, and you won't see it at all. So this is the final result. Ooh, I haven't done a voiceover in a while. This is the final result, and I am so happy with the way it came out. I just love the rawness of the wood, but it looks like it's floating with the acrylic drawer. And I love that I painted the legs white. It just looks really nice together, and it fits in my area absolutely perfect. So if you guys do try this little side table hack, creation, what have you, definitely tag me so that I can see what you've done. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave it down for me below. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave me some love down below.